Swami Kriyananda talks about I Live Without Fear as one of his favorite songs. It appeared on the album Some of My Favorites, which is now called Windows on the World, and he wrote about the origin of the song in his book A Tale of Songs. And let me read that introduction to you now. He says, Eric Estep was an Ananda resident member who had been asked to leave the community because, in the 12 years he was with us, he had never paid his regular membership dues. I had allowed him to stay because he was a good artist, and I wanted to encourage the arts at Ananda. After being given the choice between leaving and paying his dues, however, he opted to leave. He then came to my house with his wife and spent over an hour telling me what he thought of me. During his diatribe, I don't think there was a quality in me of which he approved. My music was ridiculous. My writings were shallow and superficial. The communities I'd founded were of no value to anyone. My life had been displeasing to my guru. In fact, I was a failure. I listened without comment to his attack. When he had had his say, they rose to leave. His wife had remained silent, but seemed supportive of what he was saying. I thanked them both. After they left, I went over and sat at the piano. There I wrote the words and music to this song.
No green summer fade and winter draw near, my Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent tide, the touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend.
Now, I include the story here with the song to really emphasize how Swami Kriyananda wrote so much of his music, in fact, all of his music, not from a personal standpoint, but from an impersonal, more universal perspective, or the perspective of the divine. He could have easily taken a personal hurt like this, and somebody had, just attacked him, and turned it into, like most artists or musicians do, and just vent their frustrations into a piece of artwork or a piece of music and tell the world what they think of this from a more egoic point of view. But Kriyananda really has always universalized that feeling, taken something intensely personal, but then made it universal and given it the perspective of the divine, which really overrides so much of that personal sort of overtones and personal emotions. I would imagine, too, that during that meeting, Kriyananda, being who he was, wasn't sitting there taking it so personally, but wondering how he could help Eric, how he could help his wife, how he could help him overcome all that negativity that he was enmeshed in, rather than trying to defend himself. And so that's why I think he could take that emotion and write such a beautiful piece of music from it. So his response to an attack like that was not to defend himself, but again to affirm his love for God no matter what happened. And that's really the essence of this song, is affirming the divine connection regardless of outer circumstances. He wrote in the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, he said, a sense of the oneness of all life helps the meditating yogi to approach God inwardly without fear or tension, to relax completely in divine love. Whatever happens in your life, you are one with the great sea of truth. No one, however viciously he may treat you, can take away your love for God or God's love in all eternity for you. God and God alone is your true treasure. That's really something this song affirms, and it's a reason why we use it in Ananda's astral ascension and funeral ceremonies, to help us overcome that fear of death, which is one of the qualities the song is an antidote for, by affirming that eternal connection to God. Now, what's going on in the spine is very interesting, because I've very much felt that this song is like having a net, or having God's hands holding up your heart so that the energy cannot sink below the heart level. The heart chakra is the pivot point in the spine. Energy from there can go up or it can go down. It's the center between the 7 chakras. It's 3 below and 3 above. And so by holding the energy there and not allowing it to sink, this song prevents us from dipping into so much of that kind of fear and despair and so forth, all those negative emotions and hurt feelings and so forth that would otherwise be so common. And look also at the lyrics here in these verses. And what I want to do is rearrange the lyrics to give you just the first lines of each phrase, and then contrast that with the second line of each phrase. Though green summer fade and winter draw near, through tempests, through snows, through turbulent tide, I ask for no riches that death can destroy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. These are all statements of challenges that can come in our life, challenges that can try to make the energy in the heart sink, or make the energy in the spine sink. And so we're faced with these challenges, but with the heart being held up like that, what are the answers to it? My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. The touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend. Really, each of these phrases is taking like a desire of the heart or some other desire of ours and bringing it in and helping it up. And that holding of the heart is a way of saying, even if energy tries to come down, it will reflect it back upwards. If it tries to go outward, it will bring it back in and bring it up again to the spiritual eye. So that first line, though green summer fade and winter draws near, the imagery there is about the richness and the fullness of summer contrasted with the bleakness and the relative lifelessness of winter and the coldness rather than the warmth. Because we expect and we hope that life is full and life is rich and life is warm. But in duality, we get both. We get the winter and the summer. So how do we respond? My Lord, in your presence, I live without fear. And then through tempests, through snows, through turbulent tide, is reflecting that desire of the heart to have life be easy and comfortable, and to never run into those sorts of challenges. But yet again in duality, we always encounter those things. So what is the answer? The touch of your hand is my strength to withstand all of those challenges and my guide to find a way to navigate through them. And realize there that it's just a touch of the divine love. It doesn't have to be God standing with you or full bells and whistles and full senses of realization. It's just that touch is enough to navigate through all those challenges. And it's, again, that preventing the desire of the heart to go out and hope life is easy, but to say rather, give me that touch of your divine presence that helps me navigate this. It's like Sister Gyanamata's prayer, change not my circumstances, but change me instead. Then we get to this, the third phrase, I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. So with that support of the heart and bringing in those desires for a comfortable life, an easy, full, enriching life, we can now affirm that God is really our true reality. That we can say that we know that death destroys the riches of fame and material wealth and material ambitions and really anything else, any of those other outwardly directed desires of the heart. We have to leave all of those things behind at death, and what we're left with is that love and that joy. And we actually sing in the song, we sing this phrase twice. I ask for no riches that death can destroy, and here's why. In the melody, let me sing it for you. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. That upward expression of craving only God, and then that note brings the energy first from the heart chakra up to the throat and the medulla area, where we can now then sing the same verse again, addressing the desires of the ego, the desires that come from the medulla, and then with that crave only thee and that high note, we bring it up to the spiritual eye. And so we take that I crave only thee idea and first affirm it as the direction we want to go, and then it turns into realization here at the spiritual eye. It's a thought of liberation. And so the song is taking us from those outward desires up to this affirmation and then a realization of liberation. To quote the essence of the Bhagavad Gita again, Kriyananda writes, once the desire for God wakens in a person's heart, that desire must be fulfilled, as all other desires must be. And therefore it is already a guarantee of one's salvation. And so really in that thought, we've again brought that energy up the spine. We're in the consciousness of liberation. And we can now say, the dancers will pass. The singing must end. But I welcome the darkness. I no longer fear the darkness. I don't fear that change must happen. I know it will. But because I'm in that state of liberation, in that consciousness of liberation, I welcome the darkness with you for my friend. I welcome the release of all those worldly attachments, all those desires, all those ambitions. I know that they must go, so I affirm and I let it go and know that God is the only important thing. God is that true treasure that is there with us forever. Now, it's worth noting that the recording we'll hear next from Windows on the World of Swami Kriyananda singing this actually goes through the song twice. And the first time is, again, to bring the energy up the spine to the spiritual eye, but then the second time through is to sing the song from that standpoint of liberation, where it's like the Jivan Mukta who is working out his past karma in visualization and meditation, who has become liberated from accruing more karma but needs to work off the old, and can, with that consciousness of liberation, go through all the desires, all the fears, all the hurts, everything that's ever happened in all their incarnations, and release it into the infinite. Swami Kriyananda assigned I Live Without Fear to two different passages from Secrets of Emotional Healing. The first, from day 12, he says, the secret of overcoming hurt feelings is to direct your attention outward in giving yourself to others, instead of dwelling self-centeredly on your expectations of them. And as I said earlier, this is really what Kriyananda was probably doing the whole time that this other man was disparaging him and just launching into an attack, was trying to bless him and give to him and pray for his soul, really, because he knew that Mr. Aesop there was really suffering himself inside. And then Kriyananda also assigned this song to day 31, saying the secret of overcoming fear of death is to deepen your awareness of that central part of your being, which never changes, but weaves like a thread through life's tapestry of apparently unrelated circumstances. The consciousness of change is allied to the fear of death, but to see changelessness at the heart of change is the secret of immortality. And really in the song, that changelessness is found in the ever-present connection to God, that we have the touch of your hand, in your presence I live without fear. All the time it's just coming back again and again to that sense of changelessness, from the touch of the divine hand. Now I'd like to add to this that The very title of this song really indicates that it's an antidote for fear in general. All those darknesses that are referred to in the lyrics, and the turbulent tide and all the things that we tend to fear. And I think especially the fear of being hurt, which is, so often the reason why we hold ourselves back from giving to others, like the secret for overcoming hurt feelings says. The more we can give of ourselves, but if we're fearing being hurt, then we don't give, and we end up getting hurt anyway. So overcoming that fear of being hurt is very powerful. And the fear of death, I think, can also be stated as just the fear of loss. And then finally, inwardly, that we talked about the feeling of the heart being uplifted and held up. And the opposite of that is for the heart to feel abandoned and rejected and betrayed and neglected, which then, in addition to hurt feelings, gives this song as an antidote for loneliness. So let's enjoy now Ananda singing I Live Without Fear from Windows on the World.
The green summer fade and winter draw near. My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend. The green summer fade and winter draw near. My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent tide, the touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my bread.